Hey everybody, I'm Dees Hinton with Central Mississippi Real Producers, and welcome to our next podcast today. For those of you who may not be familiar with what we do at Real Producers is all about identifying the top real estate agents in our area. Real Producers is a franchise that I brought here to our area 6 years ago now. Go figure. I know. Time flies when you're having fun. But Real Producers is now in over 140 locations around the country. When I brought it here 6 years ago, it was in about 30 locations around the country. So this is going on all over the country where we identify the top producing real estate agents in our market area. And what we do is our purpose is to enhance the relationship of those top producing agents. And we do that through our magazines, our events, our podcasts, our social media, and we've even got a little TV time now that we can offer to help with to do that as well. Today we are in a really cool location. We're in downtown Brandon, and we're at a place called the Pearl. And I don't know if you've heard of it. It's brand new actually, so it hadn't been around very long. But if you're looking for a place to stay for yourself or for any of your family or friends or whatever that might be coming into town, it's a hidden gem in downtown Brandon, and it's a beautiful house that's been renovated, 3 bedroom, 3 bath, great living space, indoor and outdoor, as a matter of fact. So
it's called the Pearl.
yes,
You can find it on Airbnb, VRBO, those types of platforms.
yes, that's correct. Today on our podcast, we have Paul Hopper with Hopper Properties with us today. And on our podcasts are just like we do with our features in our magazine. Really, we're just telling stories, sharing success, sharing whatever it is that Paul wants to share. And again, our whole purpose is to get to know Paul more and better in order for us to have better relationships among all of us. So that's what we do at Real Producers. And today, joining me is Gingerlyn Wallace. Gingerlyn is our creative marketing director at Real Producers, Central Mississippi Real Producers. And she's also got her own gig. She has a staging and interior design and decorating business that she owns, which is Designs by G.
G Designs.
Yep, I told you. G Designs.
He gets it right every other time.
Every other time.
Okay. Anyway, Gingerlyn Wallace, welcome today, Gingerlyn.
Thank
And I'll just go ahead and toss it over to you. And
All right.
yeah.
Let's go. Paul,
Let's
you
go.
ready?
Hey, I'm ready. I'm an open book. I'm here. So
Okay.
I really appreciate y'all letting me come out today and spend time with y'all. So it's I'm very appreciative of that.
Sure.
Thank you for being here and taking time out of your schedule. And we just have to make sure we go back and we look at this right here, back in
19.
2019.
September of 2019.
That has been a minute.
It's been a minute.
You look exactly the same.
I had more hair then and that little bit less gray, a different hat. So it's, it's like those realtors that don't update their business card for 15,
right.
20 years. And
Yeah.
It's not the same person.
Yeah, you look at it and you're like,
yeah, I was like, yeah,
but you could pass.
come on. Man.
All right, well, I'm excited because I was telling you earlier whenever you arrived that I don't know your story. I don't know how you got started, so this is going to be fun for me to hear.
Absolutely.
So I haven't had a chance to read the magazine article because it was before my time with Real Producers.
Oh, okay. I was going to say.
I was alive.
Yeah.
But
Not
I've only
that
been with
old.
the-
I mean, golly.
We'll have to give you some homework from now on, I guess, huh?
No, I don't like to know the story. I like to hear it in person. So anyway, we're excited to get to talk to you and learn a little bit more about you, your original story, but also what you're doing now and what's changed because it has been a while.
Right.
And just want to make sure we note that we are doing something new with Real Producers. We have started going back and doing articles on those who we interviewed in the very beginning. And so Paul just recently did a looking back article in the magazine.
Where are they now?
Where are they now? So you can find that in, what issue was that? Do you know?
Paul's, it was last month.
Last
or,
month. Okay, so what are we
Yeah,
in?
it just came out.
November? So,
Yeah, it was
in
October,
this one?
September or October, I can't remember.
okay.
So.
Well, anyway, his looking back article is in there. So you can kind of read what has changed for him over these last 5-6 years since we did the original article, which is kind of cool. And that's kind of what we're going to talk about today. But real quick, for those of you who don't know you and don't know who you are, start from the beginning. Just give us a little bit about like where you grew up, you know, who you are.
Okay.
Then tell us about your family.
Okay.
And then we'll kind of go into how you got into real estate.
Awesome. Well, my name is Paul Hopper, and I am the principal broker at Hopper Properties. We started Hopper Properties in 2014. My background, so I was born in Meridian, Mississippi, and lived there till I was probably 5 years old. My dad worked at the post office. He got transferred to Pearl post office when I was in kindergarten, I guess. And so we moved to Ridgeland, and that's where I grew up, went to Ridgeland High School. Graduated from Ridgeland in 2005, and then went on to Mississippi State, go Bulldogs. Graduated from there in 09. As we all know, 09 was a very tough time. The career fair was non-existent at that point.
There wasn't any hope then, was it?
It was tough, and I had at the time, I just had no idea. It was what it was, and I just, but it was tough, and so I could not find a job when I came out of college. I had a bachelor's degree in management of construction and land development. Didn't know 100% what I wanted to do, but I've always loved land, equipment, that sort of thing. I interned with Yates Construction when I was in college, but unfortunately couldn't get a job when I graduated, just with the economy and stuff.
Right.
So what I ended up actually doing, my dad had a friend that had a company in Birmingham that they did water damage restoration, and mold remediation. So, comparable to like ServPro or Service Masters. And so
Paul Davis also does that.
Yeah, so exactly same thing, just water mitigation and mold remediation. And so did not go to college for that, but that was the only option I really had. And so they offered me a $24,000 salary, and I took it. And so it was called Dry Fast, and it was just an independent water mitigation company. And so I did that for 5 years.
Now, were you actually like tearing stuff out, or were you kind
I
of
was
managing
the guy.
it?
Look, I've got pictures. I was in a Tyvek suit, like crawling under houses.
Oh my gosh.
The first job I ever did was down on Capitol Street in Jackson, and it's probably not really for this podcast, but I was sucking up raw sewage off the floor, like with a carpet wand.
Wow.
And, I'm doing that, and I'm like, there's got to be life out there. Like, this isn't what I signed up for. And, like, I paid my way through college, and I'm like, I didn't save my money to be doing,
Right.
And I'm not knocking that industry or anything. I just,
It was tough work.
it gave me time to think about what I wanted to do. So anyway, I did that, and I did that for about 5 years, and I kind of moved up through it, grew the business, and there's a lot of insurance restoration work. So I was dealing with adjusters and things of that nature. So I got exposed to, home construction, because we were just going in, tearing out stuff. And
Right,
so
and
I
then
was able to
having to
I was
fix it.
exposed to a lot of things that at the time I was gaining a lot of knowledge that I didn't really put value in, that I would put a ton of value in now. And so, it's helped me tremendously going through, with home inspections and different things. Like, I'm cognizant of water from, dishwasher leaks to AC drains backing up, water heaters busting, sewage backups, and what's covered on your homeowner's insurance and what's not, And so anyway, I know I'm going down a rabbit trail quick, but anyway, I did that, and I had sat for enough coursework at Mississippi State to get my real estate broker's license. And at the time, you can't do it now, but at the time, I sat for the broker's exam and got my broker's license with no experience, no nothing.
While you were in college?
Wow.
Right after I got out of college.
Oh, okay.
And so I had taken enough hours to do it.
Were you a real estate agent before you did that?
No,
No, you
not
just
at all.
straight into broker.
No, and so I didn't, I ended up working at a real estate agency, but I got my license and could legally do business as a broker with zero experience, which was is wild to think.
That
but,
is, sure is.
I'd always had somewhat of an interest in real estate, but nobody in my family, I don't come from any experience in real estate, and so I just didn't know in what capacity. And when you're in college, you just don't really know what you're going to do.
No,
You think you
don't.
do, but anyway, so that was a very interesting journey. And once I got the license, I kind of started dabbling a little bit in it. And then actually my old college roommate at the time, his dad had a tract of hunting land in Copiah County, and he wanted me to try to sell it.
Okay.
And I ended up selling it for him and got the commission check, and then,
You're like,
was
"Hello."
looking at, do I want to tear mold out my whole life? And so that was really a
Right.
pivoting moment for me, just where my passion was and where I wanted to go with things. So backing up a little bit, I got that license in 2011. So I started Hopper Properties in 2014, but got my real estate broker's license in 2011. I was a broker associate for a guy named Bill Waddell. He had Waddell Realty in Ridgeland.
Okay.
And so I worked for him. I was there for probably a year and a half, and he had been in the business for about 40 years. He was kind of in an exiting phase, and so learned a lot from him. He was very valuable for me. And once I left Bill and went with Paula Ricks at Key Trust Properties.
Okay.
And so joined their team, and Paula was very instrumental in my growth as a real estate broker associate, and have tremendous respect for Paula and extremely knowledgeable. And so that I really learned the residential side of things from working with Paula and the Key Trust team. And so
Okay.
that was very, very helpful.
How long were you there?
I was there for probably 2.5 years, I think. Like I said, started in 2011,
Okay.
and then the summer of 2014 is when I went out on my own. And I always knew I wanted to go out on my own, but in the same breath, I knew that I needed to gain the experience
Right.
and knowledge from people that have been doing it and were better at it than me. So
Yeah.
I really enjoyed my time at Key Trust and the connections that I made there.
Wow. That's awesome.
So from there, started Hopper Properties in 2014. We just celebrated our 10th year anniversary,
Really?
which
Okay. Yeah.
puts a little age on me, but it's, man, it has been a wild ride. It's been awesome. It's been more than I ever thought it would be, and it's allowed a lot of open doors for other things for us. So
Okay. Well, tell us a little bit about your personal life, just real
personal
quick.
life. All right. Let's see. So I'm married. My wife is Gina Hopper,
Okay.
and we've been married since, hang on, it's my gun safe code, 082716.
Now we know.
So
how
that's
to get
it.
into the
You
gun
can get all
safe.
my guns now. So yeah, we got married in 2016,
Okay.
and she's from Clarksdale, Mississippi, up in North Delta. And so she worked at Farm Bureau when I met her, and I was able to pull her out of Farm Bureau, and now she works with us
Really?
at Hopper Properties.
Okay.
And she's been very instrumental too. But anyway, so married to Gina. I've got 3 kids. I've got a 5-year-old boy, Hayes. I've got a 3-year-old daughter, Eva, and then I have a fixing to be 1-year-old son, Trace.
Okay.
So
Wow.
3 kids. We're in the thicket, fighting the sleep battle and that whole deal. So.
We just had one of our guests walk in the door, so I got really distracted. Tell me those ages again.
Hayes is 5 years old. Eva is 3 years old, and then Trace is 11 months old.
Okay. Oh my gosh. So wow, 3 under 5.
Yes.
Woo.
So
That's a lot.
it is a lot, but I've got a good woman, and that goes
There
a
you
long
go.
way.
There you
So,
go.
Amen.
Well, I've also got 3, but mine were a little bit more spaced out, so I feel you.
yeah.
It's like you wouldn't trade it for the world, but it's a lot.
Right. Yeah. No. We'll leave it there.
My mom keeps telling me, she just had me and my sister, and she keeps telling me that 3rd one, man, it just
You
really
know, they-
changes things.
Everybody always told me that 3rd one ain't no big deal. Like, it's just, at
An
that
extra
point you're
kid.
outnumbered. It's not a big deal. It is a big deal. It's a real big deal.
It is because you always feel like this,
Right.
Well, I can vouch for that because we're taking care of a just turned 5-year-old, 3-year-old, and 1-year-old.
That's
So,
right.
Right.
Oh my gosh. So yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a big deal.
It is a big deal.
Much respect.
Yeah.
Okay, well, wow. Okay, so, and your wife works at the office with you, but that's kind of cool. So it really is like
Yeah.
Hopper Properties. I mean, it's you, it's her.
Right.
What's her role there? Is she
So she doesn't
Administrative?
really enjoy the limelight side of things. So she's really more on the back end. She does all of our books. She's got a finance major, and we've got, in addition to the retail brokerage side of things, we're also we have a development arm where we do a lot of land development things.
Okay.
And so she's really, a lot of times she's a sounding board for me because I run a lot of stuff by her,
Yeah.
and she has saved me from a lot of mistakes.
She keeps
and,
you straight.
She really does.
That's awesome.
She's very level-headed, and I try to plead my case on a lot of stuff, and sometimes she'll shoot it down. Sometimes we've grown there a lot because I used to buy land. I would call her and I'd be like, go through this whole pitch, PowerPoint presentation on why this is a good deal, blah, blah, blah. And then, she'd say, okay. We've kind of morphed into like, now I tell her what we have bought. And she's like, sometimes you run into somebody and they'll tell them about a piece of property and she's like, I don't know nothing about it, and so it's.
So you're one of those always buying land.
I'm addicted to it. Love it.
Do
Love
you
every bit of
hunt
it.
a lot of it?
I do.
I
do.
figured.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I think I saw a recent Facebook post that your son
He did.
just
yes.
knocked the big one
Aw.
down.
He did. He killed his first deer. So what you didn't see was he missed a doe on Friday and missed a doe on Saturday, and then the buck walked out and
Oh.
he
him.
was able to pull it together, and
It looked
Yeah.
like a
Bless
8 or
it.
10.
it was
or
11 points.
11. Okay.
So it was it was awesome. That was on our place up in the we bought a place up near Clarksdale, and so we've bought
Yeah.
it about 3 years ago, and that's where Gina actually killed her first deer when she was a kid, and so
Aw.
we kind of made a pact that we were going to let our kids
Yeah.
kill their first deer there. So
Well, that's really cool that he missed the doe, so he got to say his first one was a.
right, yeah,
That
exactly.
worked out.
And Gina was in the stands. It was all three of us were in the stand. We got it on video.
Aw.
It's a really cool deal. So
That is cool. Okay, so tell me real quick about your team at Hopper. So I know
Team
it's
at
not
Hopper.
just you or your wife. You
no,
have other
no,
agents. and-
Absolutely, yes. We've got it fluctuates, but we have a little over 40 agents total. So
okay, I
yeah,
did not know
that's
that.
everybody says that. Like
I thought
again,
yours
we've
like
been
4 or 5.
we've been in it for 10 years,
that
and like
funny?
when people ask me, and I'll tell them, and it's been as high as 60, and I've never had any vision of having some massive company. That's just not been an interest of mine. But we've grown organically. We've got really good people, and then our niche, what we feel like having a really strong foothold in both the homes and land arena, I think has attracted a lot of agents because you're in one of the best places in the state of Mississippi to sell a house. So even though you may just be interested in land and being a land agent, you really would be a fool to jeopardize having that residential component.
That's
so,
right. That's right.
But anyway, so we've got a little over 40 agents, and we've got a lot of help with that because it is a constant job there. But
absolutely.
got Mary Ann Roper. She's been with me from day one, and she
Okay.
is very, very instrumental. She works out of our Brandon office here. We've got a Brandon office and a Gluckstadt office, and
I was just about to ask that. So you have 2 offices.
we have 2 offices.
Okay.
And so we used to have one in Starkville, and we ended up just letting go of that one and kind of just focusing, because at the end of the day, you've only got 24 hours in a day. So it's hard to,
Yeah.
it's a balancing act, can be to, because I still, personally, I still sell real estate. We
Right.
manage the brokerage, which is a job in and of itself.
That's
but then
right.
I also sell real estate because that's
Yeah.
my passion. I enjoy it. And
Right.
so,
I think it keeps you relevant too.
it does. It does very much so. But we really do have an awesome group, and they're extremely talented. They work cohesively. They're all on the same wavelength, and we're really excited about the future for sure.
Wow. I had no idea that they had that many agents. That's really cool.
Yeah. He's grown a lot.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, this has been so much fun, and we are not done with you because we are
Okay.
getting ready to do something really exciting. We're
Uh-oh.
going to do a little
What are we going to do?
panel interview with some local brokers, so it's going to be fun.
Yeah, we got some fun questions for everyone
That's
to,
right.
to comment on. So, you'll see more of Paul on another podcast that we're
That's
going
right,
to do.
that's
So,
right.
yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being here,
Thank
for sharing
y'all.
your story.
Thank you for the opportunity, and
Yeah.
Yes.
I thoroughly enjoy working with y'all, and y'all are doing an excellent job with Central Mississippi Real Producers, and just can't thank you enough. And if there's ever anything I can do to help, I'd be more than happy to. So,
Awesome. Great.
you.
Thank you. Also,
Come
thanks
to the
to
events.
Kaylin
Keep
Partee, Partee Photography.
Yes, thank you, KP.
As usual, KP is behind the lens over here doing this for us, and thank you again, KP, for handling this for us today. So
Yep.
Well,
It was fun.
I guess that's going to be a wrap for now.
That's a wrap.
Thanks for watching.
Yay.
Bye.